This is Stacy on the Right with Stacy Washington on Sirius XM Patriot 125.
Welcome back, everybody, to Stacy on the Right. Stacy is out this week. I'm your host, Kira Davis, filling in for the rest of the week. If you want to know more about me, best place to look is on X at Real Kira Davis, or go find my podcast. Just listen to yourself. That's the name of the podcast. Just listen to yourself. Should be pretty easy to remember. Look that up on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever really you can find your podcast. You can find that anywhere. Except Sirius, maybe Sirius will pick that up one day. We'll see. But in the meantime, my voice is everywhere if you're looking for it. And I'm happy to have my voice on the air with you guys today. We've been talking about some of the craziness that's been going on. We're talking about Signal Gate. Representative Gomer was just on with us talking about what needs to be done with these judges. And I do think that there is something to be said about accountability, about just the action of it. Forcing people, many evil people, not all, but many evil people are weak people. And so weak people are very brave until there is the slightest bit of accountability or pushback. And that is why it's really important for you to be out there going to your local council meetings, your local school board meetings. You need to get to a municipal meeting at least once a year. I know most Americans can't imagine the thought of going to one of them. I go to them all the time. They're super boring, and it's a chunk of your day that you'll never get back. I get it. I don't expect you. We have a county supervisors meeting here every 2 weeks. I don't expect you guys to go sit in a 5-hour meeting every 2 weeks. Could you do one a year? Could you get together with 12 friends and agree to do, each of you pick 1 month where you show up at the city council meeting or the county supervisors meeting or the school board meeting, and you just sit there and you just listen. Maybe you talk, maybe you give a complaint, but maybe you just listen. You just sit there and listen. I'll tell you what, when I go to these things, I am stunned at what some of these people, some of these representatives say and do from the bench, from the dais, because they think they're invisible, and largely they are. I just did a story over at my podcast, Just Listen to Yourself. If you're into juicy stuff, maybe it's not national breaking news, but it's super juicy. I just wrote up this story. It's still going on. I've got to update it. On this affair in this neighboring county, or not neighboring county, neighboring city, on this school board, Orange Unified School District.
Yes, everything here is allegedly. Hey, Doc, good to see you, brother. Yeah, this is Nevada, bro. Everything is hypothetical. You got it. If you want to hear ideas. Yes, I'm aware of the buffering. I have the streaming phone and the chat phone. When my chat phone buffers, it buffers for you guys. Yeah, because those bugs are going to stop fucking signal.
Hey, Jody.
Tommy, that's cool. Everybody's cool that's in here right now that I can tell, Tommy. They like giving me shit. They get nice little clips when I snap the fuck out. All chat, all messages, Pink. You're probably right. What up, LBA? Oh, trust me, we call you a lot worse than Kulo. And I guarantee he don't have you blocked. Miles, I'll be able to wash the windshield. Lots of bugs out here right now. Would do me no good to stop and wash it right now.
All right. Watch the chat, but his chat, but I'm going to listen to something else.
We can't take them seriously because they let the Joe Biden administration just tear the Constitution to shreds for the last 4 years, and we were all here for it. It wasn't 10 years ago; it was months ago. All right, let's start with. We will do. Oh, okay, let's do cut 5. This is Senator Mark Warner, Democrat from Virginia, scolding the panel. Cut 5. Everyone's joining is free. outside of SCIFs of this kind of classified nature. We don't know. I'm going to ask. Obviously, Treasurer Gabbard is the executive in charge of keeping our secrets safe. Or these government devices, or these personal devices. Have the devices been collected to make sure there's no malware? There's plenty of declassified information that shows that our adversaries, China and Russia, are trying to break in to encrypted systems like Signal. I can just say this: if this was the case of a military officer or an intelligence officer and they had this kind of behavior, they would be fired. As I think this is one more example of the kind of sloppy, careless, incompetent behavior, particularly towards classified information, that this is not a one-off or a first-time error. Okay. You know, I mean, and that might have maybe in the first Trump administration that might have stung, but after the last 4 years, to hear any Democrat talking about classified information, I mean, Biden sold this entire country out to China, his son to China, so much so that he's had to pardon everybody, retroactive to 2014. So it all feels a little hollow. It might make you angry to hear him saying that like that. You know, it's annoying, of course, but it's meaningless because we've been here for the last 4 years. Lots more coming up. Don't go anywhere. I'm Kira Davis, and you are listening to Stacey on the Right.
You didn't start a business to babysit your poorest performing employees. That's exactly why I started my business, so you don't have to. Hi, I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambi. I created Bambi so small business owners could take back control of their business. Need to fire a poor performing employee who happens to now want 3 months off? Your Bambi HR manager will take care of that for you in your first week with us. You spend your time coaching your A players, we'll take care of the rest. I'm so confident that Bambi will help you focus on what you love about running your business.
Muted for a second. I got to make a phone call.
To the service. Conservative principles live here. News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump is downplaying the sharing of Yemen attack plans to a group chat that included a journalist. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Democrats and Republicans alike criticized the incident as a serious national security breach, but the president called it the only glitch in 2 months of his administration. He claimed on NBC News that it didn't turn out to be a serious matter, and he expressed confidence in his national security advisor. Earlier this month, the editor-in-chief for The Atlantic received details of a U.S. military attack in a secure messaging app 2 hours before the airstrikes began. Greg Clugston, Washington. Las Cruces, New Mexico police have shown video footage from a deadly New Mexico park shooting during an unauthorized
no
car
details.
show over the weekend.
Saw the transcript.
Authorities said the fatal shooting started after an altercation broke out between two groups at the gathering. Some of the at least 15 wounded were bystanders who weren't involved in the dispute between the two groups. Body camera footage showed a police officer tending to a victim who was caught in the crossfire.
Hey, Johnny, thanks for popping over.
Police Chief Jeremy Story in Las Cruces explains 3 people were killed.
And one thing I do want to say up front, too, this is not a traditional active shooter event where the motive or the motivation is to kill and injure as many people as you can, as quickly as you can.
4 people are facing murder charges, including 3 teenagers. I'm Haya Punjwani.
The gunman who killed 23 people in a racist attack at an El Paso Walmart in 2019 in one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history has been offered a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 4 points, the Nasdaq rose 83, the S&P advanced.
Why?
More on these stories at townhall.com. Important Medicare. Face it, the world is uncertain these days, but there's something reassuring about holding onto what lasts. The 2025 1-ounce gold eagle from the U.S. Mint, a symbol of American strength and an asset that stands the test of time. You can trust gold and you can trust Global Coin. Call 833-SPOT-GOLD to secure this magnificent coin.
Yeah, plea deal.
Society of Civil Engineers says the state of U.S. infrastructure has improved, although just a bit. Report card, released every 4 years, gives the country a C grade. While that may be mediocre, it's better than the string of Ds and rare C minuses issued previously. However, the group warns that if more robust spending in recent years isn't maintained or even increased, recent gains could be lost, hiking costs over the long term. Rich Thomason, Washington. Thieves took 8 Corvettes from a lot of the Kentucky automobile plant where the legendary muscle car is built. Cars were stolen from the GM Bowling Green assembly plant, the home of the Corvette since the early 1980s. Police say the cars were valued at $1.2 million. News and analysis.
Oh, you got a Trey Skubal? Yeah, he's going to be the opening day pitcher. I'm actually going to the Mud Hens opening weekend. I'm going on Sunday. I don't even know who they're playing.
Welcome back to Stacey on the Right this Tuesday night. I'm your guest host, Kara Davis, filling in for Stacey Washington. She is out for this week, but we've been having a good time together so far this week, and we've got more to talk about.
Where'd you get an autograph?
The name of the show, as you know, is It Can Be Done, and for many, many years, for us, we have been told
You're gonna pass me or not?
things the government can't do, they can't get done, it's too controversial, it takes too much time. And yet we have a new president with a new administration that seems to be getting things done in ways we never thought possible. A new executive order has come down regarding gun rights. I think this is going to be a big deal for the Second Amendment. And joining us to talk to us about this today is John Comerford. He is the executive director of the NRA, ILA, and he has written an article about this new executive order that Trump has signed, which will direct the Attorney General Pam Bondi to begin a sweeping review of federal firearms regulations and government agency actions that eroded the rights of gun owners during the Biden administration. So says John Comerford. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here, and I want, you know what, better than me explaining what this is, let me let the expert explain it. So what does this executive order do? Because I'm here in California, so is it going to let me carry a gun?
Oh, it came out. Okay, I thought you meant like hand signed.
Well, first, we tell our members and America's gun owners that every election that they're coming up to is the most important in their lifetime. And what you're seeing from the 2024 election results is the fruits of showing up at the ballot box and
That'd be
voting
sweet.
first. And this executive order that's been written by and released by President Trump is a monumental step forward to restoring the rights that were taken away by law-abiding gunners during the Biden administration, those disastrous 4 years, and expanding further on your rights. So what it breaks down to is the president has ordered the Attorney General Pam Bondi, to do a comprehensive review of Biden-era policies that restrict gun owners' rights and areas of improvement that can be made to further and restore.
I does not know how fast he wants to go.
In this new administration. Now, she was on a 30-day fuse, which in government speak and timelines is as fast as they come. Short, especially when you're in the first 60 days of a new administration. So we expect to see something from the Department of Justice and her review very soon.
Nice.
What are some of the things that this administration can do right now, both executively, but maybe even in Congress? One of the things that you write about in your article, for instance, is
I haven't chatted with you much lately. Have you already moved, or are you getting all ready to, or what's up?
Quite a constitutional conundrum across a lot of states. Here in California, we have quite a few red flag laws. I'm sure it's no surprise to you that we're a very controlled state. But how would an executive order like this, or something that Congress do, affect these red flag laws?
Sure, there are certain areas within the order and the review process that can be addressed, specifically towards red flag laws. We like to call them gun confiscation orders, because in the end, you're not dealing with the actual threat at hand. You're dealing with an item, which is the firearm. And police show up at your home, they remove the firearm, and they leave an individual that's so much of a threat that the law enforcement is depriving them of constitutional right in a more agitated state in their living room. So when you get down to the red flag order themselves, within this review, we're looking at areas where finance or funding can be pulled back. There are certain areas in the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act that was passed that incentivize these orders. So there's areas within the government where we can discourage and remove that encouragement from the government states to pass red flag orders that deprive you of your due process rights and deprive you of a constitutional right before you've had access to that full due process. So there are limitations through executive order. This is why President Biden wasn't able to ban full categories of guns. However, there are plenty of areas that are eligible for improvement.
What do you think is going to happen with concealed carry? Are we going to
about 40 minutes left plus a stop?
I thought that was the thing that was happening.
Speedway.
And then
I got to gas up for tomorrow. I don't want to have to do it in the morning. Just leaving Green Springs. Have to do some work.
I guess what I'm asking here is, and again, I am asking you, explain it like I'm 5 years old, because I'm just a humble housewife that takes to a radio mic every now and again. But why doesn't the second?
That's okay, Jody. That's cool.
As a blanket across the entire United States, the same way free speech is?
I got to go to Defiance tomorrow after work, or after my day job.
Most 5-year-olds would think it does apply, right? You would think that if you have a permit to carry, that constitutional.
Busy as ever. I took it easy last night, but now I'm going to pay for it the rest of the week. I am going to a Mud Hens game Sunday for opening weekend.
Here in the United States, we have 29 states that have constitutional carry, which don't require a permit at all.
I feel a lot better. Chest is a lot better. It's a little bit of a cough, but not nearly as bad as it was.
That would treat it and feel kind of permanent, similar to a driver's license. Keep in mind, driving's a privilege, and carrying a firearm and protecting yourself is a constitutional right. So we shouldn't even be having this conversation, but we are. And HR 38, sponsored by Chairman Richard Hudson, would fix that wrong. And it was heard today, actually, in House Judiciary. Chairman Jim Jordan did a markup in his committee. Myself and our staff were there on the Hill today, talking to lawmakers and watching that hearing where the bill was favorably reported to the rest of the House, to the floor, and is eligible for a vote. That came out of committee 18-9. So we are one step closer to fixing that wrong. Now, in 2017, the same legislation did pass the House of Representatives, got stuck in the Senate. But at that point, we didn't have 29 states with constitutional carry, and we have roughly a dozen. So more than half of the country.
I like this time of year. You got baseball and hockey at the same time. I'm not a huge basketball fan, so I'll keep up with them, but I don't really watch it much. But Michigan plays their Sweet 16 game on Friday.
Than if you would carry a firearm across the state line in some of these deep blue states, for instance, Pennsylvania to New Jersey.
Yeah, Riley's doing good. Yeah, Torkelson has been disappointing.
Here, absolutely.
I agree.
I was looking at your article earlier, and I might just quote.
He gets on fire once in a while, but overall he's been pretty disappointing.
Other unconstitutional actions from the
keeps getting hurt too.
Must be rolled back or terminated. The FBI and Justice Department must stop illegally strong-arming people into, quote, voluntarily designating themselves prohibited from owning a firearm in the National Instant Criminal Background Check System database, and there must be an immediate halt to the funding of state red flag gun seizure regimes that violate due process. But I was really curious about that voluntary designating ourselves. Is that what a red flag law does?
No, that's a separate measure. It's a feel-good measure.
Yeah, hopefully the Wings can wake up a little bit and make it. They're still 3 points behind, and they're losing 3-1 to Colorado tonight. They were up 1-0, and then boom, 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 gave up 3 goals.
I mean, in no point are we getting serious about addressing threats or providing additional mental health resources. The gun control lobby is relying on individuals who voluntarily report themselves, thinking that they may be a threat, so they don't want to be able to have the ability to buy a firearm. I mean, we have to get serious. And that's,
I'm so sorry. I had never heard that before.
That's exactly right. And in many cases, there's no way to remove yourself from the list.
Yeah.
Say someone coerced you into doing this. There might not be a mechanism to take yourself back off of the list. So we'll do anything on the radical left and among the gun control lobby to vilify a firearm and firearm owners, except for addressing the threat in ways to create treatment and locking up violent criminals.
This is incredible. We're talking to John Comerford from the NRA, and President Trump quoted your article today, actually, and so congratulations to you for that. That's sort of like winning an Oscar, but clearly this is something that
yeah, it's funny because
although I didn't hear him talk a lot about this on the campaign trail, and everything
I'm taking the wife to Red Wings versus Carolina Hurricanes for her birthday. Up in Detroit.
With 2A issues.
Woodpeckers.
Well, first, President Trump's a life member of the NRA. His family, specifically,
were they?
They live and breathe the Second Amendment. They constantly shoot. They introduce it to their family and friends. And what we've seen for President Trump is
what team are they allied with?
That truly embraces and understands the love this country has for the Second Amendment, the importance of the Second Amendment beyond hunting, beyond self-defense, the core meaning of that amendment. And we've seen President Trump address our membership 9 times at our annual meeting and at other events we have. So he comes, he loves to hear from our members. We hope to have him again in April at our annual meeting in Atlanta. But it's no surprise that he's reaching out to our members. Look, the power of NRA has never been in money the organization spends. It's the fact that our membership is more active than any other voter base in America. And they show up to the polls, they contact their lawmakers. In fact, NRA members vote at a rate of over 95%. Election after election, we check that. So I think President Trump realizes that, respecting that constitutional freedom that NRA
Astros, huh?
really, results in votes as well. And as you heard him on the campaign trail, it's important for gun owners to get out and vote. He knew NRA members voted, but it was our job at NRA to get that message to the rest of America's gun owners, that other 85 million, 90 million gun owners that listen, and get them to the polls and show them that, and validate President Trump's support to them.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot, John, about the holistic approach to government that Trump seems to be taking, which is like we can't just fix one part. We have to fix all of these parts at the same time. And before I let you go, I would love to hear you just expound a little bit on what the Second Amendment means to prosperity. I think some people might think that this is an issue that only affects people who want to own guns.
Mud packers.
But it's way bigger than that, as you just alluded to.
What's up, Dio?
Protecting this right, well, it does sort of the same thing as closing the border or, lowering taxes related to the economy. It all works together to create a society in which citizens can thrive. Can you speak to that before we let go tonight?
The Second Amendment protects the rest, right? I mean, it protects the rest. It's what keeps this country free. It's what differentiates us from any other country on the face of this globe. And
I call them the mud chickens.
America great, and President Trump's
They look like.
Make America Great Again, not to steal his campaign slogan, but he's doing that through putting in acting director of the ATF, respecting gun owners' freedoms, directing Attorney General Bondi to expand on those freedoms, and telling Congress that he wants to sign concealed carry reciprocity. So his pen is ready, or Sharpie, if you will, is ready to sign that, and we really look forward to the rest of this term. And I hate to get too far ahead, but those midterm elections are coming, and everybody needs to be ready to get their friends and family to the polls along with themselves to make sure we can further President Trump's agenda.
You always say hi to the feds.
4 years.
Amen to that. Amen to that. John Comerford from the NRA. John, tell us where we can find more about you online. And by the way, this article you can find in the Washington Times today. Where can we find you?
We're on all social channels. We're on NRA.org and NRAILA.org for those who are politically and legislatively inclined. Thank you for having me.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for all the good work we're doing out there, and Godspeed, sir. All right. Good night to John. And, let's take a break.
Bojangles, that's good stuff.
Sort of wrap up that discussion, because I have thoughts on the Second Amendment. I'm Kira Davis, filling in for Stacey Washington, and you are listening to Stacey on the Right.
I want to open a biscuit world around here.
And then the family. The left said that the nuclear family is white supremacy. The nuclear family is the bedrock of America. Breitbart News Daily with Mike Slater. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Conservative principles live here. Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125. In a crisis, you remember what need is food. Because when things go sideways, it's always one of the first things to sell out. And if you wait to stock up, all you'll find at the grocery store.
Well, Michigan's track is in the sticks, too. Brooklyn, Michigan. The Irish Hills.
Get two free deal. kits, best-selling 72 hours a month food kits. This new and improved kit has 20 servings of delicious food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all designed to last for 25 years. It sells for $29 and has been rated 4.4 stars by thousands of happy customers. If you act quickly and buy one kit, you will get 2 more kits absolutely free. That's 3 kits for the price of one, $58 in free food. Go to freefood123.com. That's freefood123.com. This deal won't last. Go to freefood123.com now.
Could advanced stem cell therapy give you hope for a better, longer life? At Bespoke Biologics, we believe you deserve access to this groundbreaking, innovative medical solution. Stem cells are some of the most powerful cells in the body, and research is moving at warp speed and harnessing their power. At Bespoke Biologics, we speak with people every day, all over America, about new answers for heart disease, heart attacks, stroke, in addition to conditions like MS, rheumatoid arthritis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or maybe you just want to slow down the aging process or strengthen your immune system. The medical professionals at Bespoke Biologics have over 15 years experience. They're up to speed on all of the latest medical research, and they have access to an exclusive and proprietary line of stem cells. If you're ready to explore or just learn more about this exciting medical option, go to BespokeStemCell.com. BespokeStemCell.com. Schedule your introductory call and get ready to transform everything you thought was possible. BespokeStemCell.com. BespokeStemCell.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA.
Get closer to the artists you love on the SiriusXM app. 24/7 channels dedicated to icons like the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, and the Grateful Dead, to ones hosted by stars like John Mayer, Carrie Underwood, and Kelly Clarkson. Explore the songs, stories, and inside access to artists you won't find anywhere else. Plus, exclusive shows, interviews, full concerts, and more. Just search
I'd have a hard time giving up some bacon, man. I think I'd donate some cash to them and keep the bacon. Ugh.
Welcome back, friends. Who's out there dancing with me? We can dance if we want. I'm Kira Davis, filling in for Stacey Washington all week long, right here on Stacey on the Right. If you've never heard of me before, why? What? Go look me up. Best place to do that is on X. Look me up, Real Kira Davis, Kira. And my podcast, Just Listen to Yourself. If you're enjoying my commentary today, well, then I've got over 300 episodes of commentary on everything. And I do talk about everything. Just Listen to Yourself is a critical thinking podcast. I take an idea, I take a hot topic, I discuss the talking points on that topic, and I draw them out to their logical conclusions. Sometimes I'm talking about...
We're not going around the airport today. We're taking 75.
But sometimes I'm talking
I gotta
about
get some gas at Speedway.
relationships or marriage or all kinds of stuff on there. Go look it up. Go subscribe. I did want also, I don't know if you've heard of this story, but I did want to alert you about Yeti coolers. You guys use Yeti coolers out there? Well, apparently, a group called the Center for Conservative Women, I guess maybe something I should know. The Center for Conservative Women ordered some Yeti mugs. Those are the insulated mugs and thermoses, all that stuff. Ordered them for some swag bags. Yes, and it had their logo on them, Center for Conservative Women. Well, as it turns out, Yeti canceled the order when they saw it was for conservative women. They canceled the order after it had already been paid for, and they refused to fill the order. They said they would not print conservative women on there. Yeti. Okay, so it's a free country, right? And Yeti can do that if they want. They can tell this customer, based on their political ideology, that they don't want to serve them. I guess they don't have to bake the cake. That's fine. We don't need them to bake the cake, but we don't need you to go buy their products. So I don't usually participate in boycotts. I like boycotts. I think it's a better way. I think it's more effective. Not that boycotts aren't ever effective. I think Bud Light is a great example of a boycott. But generally speaking, I'm not one who's like, boycott this and that. But But, if I'm planning on buying an insulated mug in the near future, it's definitely not going to be a Yeti. They have definitely dropped in my estimation. So I thought maybe you might want to know that too, in case you are thinking about buying a mug or a cooler. I think there are, at this point in our technological advancement, other products that will serve you just as well as a Yeti cooler. All right, I want to sort of recap that conversation we had with John Comerford from the NRA earlier. And John was saying that we need, I asked this question, why can't we have the Second Amendment?
No, I got you. You flew out there.
We do the first. And I know for a lot of people in Stacey's listening audience, you guys are informed and you're very intelligent. Most of you out there thought, well, duh. But I think there are people out there who don't even realize that the disconnect, the hypocrisy of that. They don't even realize. Again, this goes back to we can do it if we want. It can be done. But there is an element in this country that has worked hard to make sure it can't be done. And I think a perfect example of that is the Second Amendment. When I was talking to John, and I've been talking about this, well, really forever. On my podcast, I've been talking about it a lot. But even tonight, I've been talking about this idea of this holistic approach to fixing government. Typically, we've gone in and thought, every politician has had a pet issue. I'm going to drill, baby, drill. I'm going to close the border. I'm going to fix the healthcare system. Every politician has had one thing. This is the biggest problem in America that we need to go fix. But Trump has come in and said, no, it's all broken, and we have to attack all of it. Not necessarily the Democrats, but the left wing, the progressive left, they have been picking off slowly but surely, steadily, every important institution in this nation for 65, 70 plus years. And education is one of those things. So if you look at the Second Amendment, you might say that has not much to do with education. But like I said about when it comes to the judges, how that one judge misquoted the 14th Amendment. She's a judge, and she didn't even know when the 14th Amendment had been established. That is because we don't have an education system that values the American system of government. We don't have an education system that pinpoints that as foundational to producing good citizens. Why? They could do it if they wanted to. Why don't they? They used to do it. Why don't they now? Because somebody had a plan. Somebody had a plan for our kids. And if you want to have your way with our kids, first thing you got to do is get into their minds. You have to control what they learn. And so if you don't teach the kids that the Constitution reigns above all other documents in our government, if you don't teach the kids that the Second Amendment applies to you the same way the First Amendment applies to you, they don't even go out into the world with that mindset. And then that's how they govern, it's how they live their lives, it's how they move around. They have created this ignorance. We used to have rifle classes in schools. Why don't we anymore? Because Democrats told us that was dangerous. No, but that's not why. They don't want us to have a respect for the Second Amendment. They don't want us to know we're all supposed to have our Second Amendment rights. And so most of us walk around America every day.
Yeah, boogity, 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 into the wall again.
To tell us where and when we can use our weapons. And it's not. We just need the leadership with the guts to remind the American people of what their God-given rights are. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Lynn in Vegas. Let's start with Lynn in Vegas. Lynn, welcome to the show. I'm Kira, filling for Stacey tonight. What's on your mind? Hey, Lynn, you there? Okay, Lynn.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Oh, thanks. Well, I just want to say I love hearing your interview with Lee Gohmert. He's always, he's always one of my favorite people in Congress. What I really like, one of the things he did that I'm, so that's why I really like about him, is when he and several other members of Congress, when they stood up for people, the J6 defendants, because there were allegations of people being mistreated, the J6 defendants being mistreated in the DC jail. Like, people weren't allowed to shower, just ugly. And, I don't care what they were accused of. They're still Americans, and they deserve to be, treated respectfully. And I remember that he and I think there was, a few others went to, and they actually tried to access the jail to get into
Right, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, remember how they were just blown off? They actually, someone said that, well, just hold up and then they shut the doors on them. Yeah. But I was always impressed with Obama.
I love him.
Actually, I do too. Actually, the funny thing is that I graduated high school in Longview, just outside of Longview, Texas. So that was in his district. Now I graduated before he entered Congress. But yeah, the area.
A little Louis Gohmert. He is a great guy, and I love. I wish he was still in Congress, but it's great to have his voice out there. Yeah, he was one of the first Tea Party guys that really inspired me and caught my attention. The Tea Party is the movement I came in, conservatism on. Well, thank you, Lynn, for the call, and thanks for listening tonight. God bless you out there. You did. All right. You take care, Lynn. All right, thank you. That was Lynn from Vegas. Louis is great. He is great. We need a million more of him, but I love that he tells it like it is. And I think, Lynn, my favorite part of the conversation with Representative Gohmert was when he said, all those judges up to the hill, we can do it. He tried to do it. Imagine what it was like to be him when he was in Congress. Knowing that swamp, like the way we do now, we didn't even know half of it when he was sitting in there. Knowing what he was up against in the minority, out strong leaders. Thank you for everything you did, sir. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Gordon in California. Gordon, welcome to Stacey on the Right. I'm Kira. What's on your mind today? Hey, Gordon, how you doing?
I'm a little bit behind. I'm good. I think I'm a little behind on your topic because I was calling about Yeti canceling that conservative women's order. I just want to make the comment that they probably should have known better because remember back in 2018, Yeti stopped giving discounts to NRA members, and then you can look on YouTube and there's like dozens of videos where people have basically blown up their Yeti coolers because of that.
You're right. I totally forgot about it. I totally forgot about that. You're so right.
They should have known. They should have gone to Pelican or some of those other companies that literally they would put out special edition Second Amendment coolers. I want to say Pelican did it, and one or two others did it. And so like I said, it's almost like you got to look at the history of the companies you're going to purchase from them. And even if they filled the order, I wouldn't want to support them. So, yeah. And that was
so much work.
Exactly.
Thank you. Well, thank you for that phone call, Gordon. Yeah, well, thank you for that reminder. You're absolutely right. I had totally forgot about that, actually. And I don't know if I've bought a Yeti since 2018. I'll have to check. I may have been given some. But I had totally forgotten about that. But you know what has also changed since then? Social media has. As incredible as it sounds, it's even more powerful now than it was then. So maybe it's good that this happened because the world can be reminded of how crappy Yeti is. And like you mentioned,
he was tiny.
David Lash had said something about this on X today as well, and she's a big, as you know, 2A defender, and so she surely remembered that story. Good callback, Gordon. Thank you for that. All right, Yeti's off the list. Forget it. We don't do business with them anymore to play that game. Let's go to Tina from Michigan. Tina, welcome to Stacey on the Right. I'm Kira. What's on your mind today?
Kira, oh my gosh. I just heard the previous caller just now. And Like I said, we're a little behind on the topic of Yeti. I never used it. And now he just he just informed me about the 2018 and they're blowing up with reports and stuff. So I just want to say thank you so much for bringing that up because it was kind of off the topic, but I will now never, ever even, I'm going to discourage anyone who I know that wants a Yeti or thinks Yeti is cool. I'll say, no. So thank you very much for that little topic today.
Well, thank you, Tina, for paying attention and being willing to be part of the cause. And good luck in your Tumblr buying out there. I'm sure there's lots of options. This is America. Thanks, Tina. Have a good night out there. Yeah, this is America. Here, that's the other thing. The free job. Let the free. If Yeti wants to be, it's just the most ridiculous thing. No, at this point in our history. But see, that's what happens. See, Gen Z is now running a lot of these places. Gen Z is in charge now. And as I was just telling you, Democrats have been educating ignorance into our children for about 60 to 75 years now. So while we're seeing all of this come to fruition, you know, you had a bunch of kids in charge of things who don't know anything about history, the law, they don't know the Constitution, they don't know anything that isn't in a 30-second TikTok clip. And so you guys, these are the people running these brands. I can just imagine some Gen Z or millennial meetings. Oh, should we platform these conservative women? Should we put the word conservative on a cup? Why would we don't want to platform them? My goodness, they didn't have a gun on the cup. They didn't have some racial slur on the cup. They had a word that has letters in it. I mean, just astounding. But let these people crank themselves into oblivion. Y'all want to be curmudgeons out there on every single thing. Go ahead and F around and then find out how that works out for you because you guys are in the minority. This is what we found out on November 5th. You guys aren't in the majority. You guys are just the meanest ones and the scariest ones for a while. You fell, you tripped into power, and you made it seem like you were in the majority, but you're not. We are. So go ahead, Yeti, play this game. Let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out for Yeti in the coming weeks. All right, let's go to Dominic in Texas. Dominic, welcome to Stacey on the Right. I am Kira. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, much pleasure being able to talk to you. I love all the Lady Liberties out there for the record, but I wanted to share my experience. So,
update my app here real quick.
I was in Arkansas, Louisiana, and in school, and, you know, 7th, 8th grade, so you always look up to the 12th graders and, you know,
right.
So they all had gun racks in the back of their trucks, and that was normal. Like they would be studying math and reading and everything in science in school. And their truck could be out there, and there'd be a gun rack in there, and there would be, you know, guns and probably ammunition and everything else.
And somehow were there multiple? Were there many mass shootings at your school?
Well, that's what I wanted to point out, is because that phenomenon was, I think, somewhere after Columbine, because nobody ever heard of anything like that. And I mean, when I was 10 years old, because, you know, my father, God bless his soul, he, you know, he taught, I was probably in first grade.
I'm trying to.
He took me out shooting. It was one of the best experiences, you know, I had. And when I was about 10,
figure something out here.
I got out by myself, and I was trusted, and I would handle it perfectly. I mean, any police officer today would say, you know, that boy knows how to handle a gun, and I did, you know, because I was taught. So that's really all I wanted to say. I mean, I think a lot of families out there across the Prudhoe Plain, they're going to identify with that.
I agree. Well, thank you for the call, and God bless you out there in Texas.
So we don't have the bonus points anymore?
You're absolutely right. Again, this speaks to the theme of this show. It can be done. We did do it. It can be done. But we have had so much stolen from us by, I don't know, forces that are named and unnamed. But number one, what we have had stolen from us is our national identity. And things like the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, those are a huge part of that. When we don't make those normal, regular parts of our children's lives in public school, we open the door to get to where we are now, where the president is having to sign an executive order to restore constitutional rights that are already there. We live in crazy upside down world. All right, we've got a lot more to talk about, but I got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. I'm Kira Davis. I'm filling up for Stacey Washington. And this show right now, this is Stacey on the Right.
Breitbart News Daily with your host, Mike Slater.
Breitbart News Daily, the power of Breitbart News with an emphasis on the good, the beautiful, and the true. I'm Mike Slater. We'll see you every morning.
They don't have the monthly thing anymore.
Breitbart News Daily, weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern on Sirius.
Well, no, usually they have something you got to click on where you get bonus points. I didn't remember if I had done it for this month. Well, looks like they don't even have it anymore. We're right back. Get some gas.
You need an Endurance.
I'll leave this on.
Cars under 20 years old. Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-378-7241. 800-378-7241. Again, that's 800-378-7241. Attention investors, there's a major real estate correction happening. I'm investing in it, and you should too. My name's Grant Cardone, CEO of Cardone Capital, where we manage $4 billion of institutional quality real estate.
Oh, it's cold out. Yeah, no points for me. Well, I have points. It just
You get all the benefits of great real estate without any of the
usually they have like once a month you pick where you want to earn your bonus points from, either buying products or gas. And I don't even see where you can pick it anymore.
13,000 investors. At Cardone Capital, we target 12 to 15% IRR, 6% cash flow, and we buy the best markets, best locations, below replacement costs, and cash flow positive at close. To see if you qualify, go to CardoneCapital.com. That's CardoneCapital.com to see if you qualify.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely. See full disclosure at CardoneCapital.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you.
No, I still get 5 cents off, but usually you would get bonus points.
So you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no
fuel purchase.
Get real value.
And I have like,
insurance when you
how many points do I have?
Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Yeah, we got like 68,000 points with them.
School choice. We are Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125. Conservative principles.
Oh, shit on the floor, Claude, even. Well, it's not Sheets, so. Things have kind of gone downhill with Speedway ever since 7-Eleven took over.
Welcome back, everybody, to Stacey on the Right. Little Pet Shop Boys for your Tuesday nights. Gen X out there dancing. New Order. Sorry. See, I wasn't cool enough to know. This may surprise you to learn, given that I host you.
All right, we're full.
At night, night. I wasn't a very cool kid in high school. We've got some callers that I want to go to the phones because we're having such a good time with you guys tonight. But before I do, I do want to play you another clip from the hearing today. This one's kind of a fun one. It's Tulsi Gabbard. This is Senator Angus King from Maine. He's an independent from Maine. And he's questioning Tulsi Gabbard. And he has a question about climate change. She's giving her intelligence report. Go ahead and play that name.
One note that surprised me, I've been on this committee now this is my 13th year. Every single one of these reports that we have had has mentioned global climate change as a significant national security threat, except this one. Has something happened? Has global climate change been solved? Why is that not in this report? And who made the decision that it should not be in the report when it's been in every one of the 11 prior reports?
I can't speak to the decisions made previously, but this annual threat assessment has been focused very directly on the threats that we deem most critical to the United States and our national security. Obviously, we're aware of occurrences within the environment and how they may impact operations, but we're focused on the direct threats to Americans' safety, well-being, and security.
Why did you take climate change out of the intelligence report, Tulsi? How dare you? These people. Well, I think it was John Comerford in the last segment who was saying, this is amateur hour. This is amateur. I mean, can you imagine? He is actually upset. He said it out loud, too. He said it out loud without an ounce of shame. Why didn't you include climate change in your intelligence report? Meanwhile, we're dragging out murderers and rapists and gangbangers by the hundreds. People who have perpetrated the most horrific crimes imaginable. That's where our national security issues are right now. This is a big place where we're focusing. And he's worried about, what if we don't have the climate change report has been in there for the last 11 years? For what? For what? What does it say? I should go look it up. What on earth does the climate report say in the intelligence report? I have never once been attacked by the climate. Now, the weather does stuff. I don't know if we could call it personal attacks or not. And I don't know if national security could address such attacks by the weather. But apparently they thought they could anyway. I just was so amused by that exchange. And Tulsi handled it like a pro. She didn't laugh in his face, which is probably what I would have done. That's why I'm hosting a radio show and not in Congress. All right, let's head back to the phones. Look, we've got Frank in Pennsylvania. Frank, welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday. I am Kira. What is on your mind tonight? Hey, Frank, how you doing? You still out there?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Frank, there you are. How you doing tonight? What's on your mind?
I was just thinking about the conversation you're having. This is the first time I ever heard you.
Damn, I should have got gas here.
The crazy reason I decided to call in. I can tell you're on the right, and I'm in the middle. The left is crazy shot. The right is crazy shot. In the middle, we're all in here like a bunch of ghosts.
You don't feel heard, Frank? You don't feel like people are hearing you?
Nobody listens to the middle because...
Yeah, it was just gas. We didn't go inside.
The left is stupid, the right is stupid.
Yeah, basically, it's all it was.
They're playing a game. It is not about a sensible conversation. It is... it's attacking. It's not a war. We're supposed to understand.
I gotta find I guess we got another gap in the fence. I gotta find, because I came home last night and the fucking pug was in the front yard. And then wife let the dogs out when she got home today, and one of the German Shepherds got out. So I gotta find the hole in the fence. I'm doing the daylight tomorrow.
So far out of reach, it's become chaotic. We aren't talking about, we aren't speaking to.
We're not talking to that middle.
Oh, issues. We're not talking smart.
Okay, well, thank you, Frank. Fair enough. I think you share the frustrations of a lot of Americans. I don't think you're alone on that. So I hear you, and fair enough. Thank you for the call and letting know. Fair enough, Frank. And you're not the first person that I have heard say this. Obviously, this is a very common complaint. And you're right. I am on the right. The name of the show is Stacy on the Right, and Stacy.
Oh no, they don't go far. They know where they eat.
Definitely right about that. And I want you to know that I heard what you said. I hear your frustration, but I feel this way about it because I think I used to be where you are. Like, and if you listen to my podcast, the earlier episodes of my podcast, you're gonna hear that from me. I'm engaging in persuasion. I want to have an intellectual conversation. I believe that when people can dig through their ideas, when you understand your ideas better, whether or not they agree with mine or not, but when you understand,
I gotta find a better bot or chat bot for Rumble. All they have is that one Rumble. Right now, all they have is that one Rumble bot. And all it does is like timed messages. It doesn't do anything else.
But as you listen over subsequent
Kind of wish
over years, you'll
hear. Kind of wish Streamlabs would let me do it on Rumble.
Definitive about all of it, and now I'm at the point where I just think we tried the meeting in the middle thing, but Democrats and left wingers don't want to do that, and that's not to say that there's no crazy right wingers. I mean, my goodness. Go to social media, they're everywhere. But it's the left wing that has had total control of pop culture for the last 50 years. And they're the ones that brought us cancel culture, and they're the ones that brought us Twitter censorship and Facebook censorship, which, by the way, is still going strong. And they're the ones that brought us companies like Yeti that won't even print the word conservative on a cup that they're selling. So I understand your frustration that these people on the fringes are the ones, the loudest voices having the conversation.
Oh, a lot of shit, huh? Well, yeah, my German Shepherds do constantly as well. This time of year is the worst, too, because they start to get the little bit of a mat. I'm going to have to get the vacuum attachment and start vacuuming them again.
This sacred middle, there's so many people in our business that have built their brand off of, I'm in the middle, I'm an independent. People say that like it's something good, and I don't think it is. The word tells us that God.
So apparently they're going to turn this into a four-way stop. I thought they were going to turn it into a traffic circle or a roundabout, whatever you call them.
That lives in my head every day.
Signs that are there saying that they're just going to turn it into a four-way stop, which is fine. Make it a lot less dangerous, but I don't know why the warning signs are on the road where there's already a stop.
I don't think there's actually anything really noble about being in the middle because it tells me you're not.
Maybe that's just temporary while they do the traffic circle.
At some point, you have to make the decision. You can talk and talk and talk, but then someone has to make the decision. And which decision is the right one? How do you decide on which decision is the right one? Well, it's either the strongest argument or the strongest arguer. In the end, there is no such thing as not winning. Someone has to win. I say this to conservatives all the time. I part of my bread and butter is I speak to Republican ladies groups, and across my state, I'm available to speak to your group as well. You can reach out to me. Just look up all my information on X, if you like. But one of the things I get asked a lot, because a lot of these groups are run by grassroots conservatives, and they'll say, you know, we're struggling with our own party. We're struggling with the elite, the establishment of our party, and we want to do this, and they want to do that, and how do we get to this place where we can work together and get things done? And when I first joined this movement, I told you all I came in as a Tea Partier. That's where I first heard.
Oh shit!
When I first
bunch of mail in.
That was the conundrum. How do we work with the establishment? How do we get them to listen to us? But now I understand No, that's not how you get heard in the party, Republicans. Conservative Republicans, grassroots Republicans, if you want to get your business done in your party, you have to win. I do not know what else to tell you. You have to win. So you got to get in the arena of ideas. That's the name of my book, by the way. Drawing lines, life approaches must begin to that.
God damn it.
In the arena of ideas. You've got to get in the arena of ideas. Even
Fucking one of the plastic cards in the mail just cut my little bag in half.
They don't win. They don't win. And you're back to the drawing board. Now, the good news is that in our two-party system, a lot of people feel like we don't limit our choices. We do have lots of choices. We're just making those choices
Repaired.
and they do it a parliamentary system. We're making those choices when we have those arguments.
Yeah, have a good night, Jody.
The establishment will lose on the basis of our party. This is what's going on in the Democrat Party right now, although to an extent that is exaggerated because they're a total hot mess. So I don't know if I agree with the idea of
Night unindoctrinated. Later, Dio.
it's not fair that I feel your frustration, Frank. I hear that. I do. And I think I know a lot of good people who feel the same way as you do. So this is no judgment on you. But in my estimation, I think it's a bit weak to be in the middle. You don't have to be hard to the right. I have to be hard to the right. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like Stacey. But I do think being in the middle sort of indicates a lack of willingness to make a decision. All right, one more hour left of this amazing show, and I'm your amazing guest host, Kira Davis, sitting in for Stacey Washington, and this is Stacey on the Right.
You guys have a good night. Peace. Love you guys. Thanks for riding with me.